Schools must equip children to have sexual partners, say the UN and...
This is the abomination that Yahusha was rebuking scribes and Pharisees for, but they were doing it in secret. This is the final outcome, the inevitable outcome of the United States of America and their damned constitutional republic. Greece was a republic. Rome was a republic, and they all ended in the same manner. All you supposed Christian patriots need to understand something. This is exactly what they were setting up to do when they drafted the Constitution. Even if the people used didn't realize it at the time. That document known as the Constitution and even the Declaration of Independence were drafted by Jesuit Illuminati perverts. If you pay close attention to even Star Wars, they allude to this. All occultic practitioners do this, including the shamans. It doesn't matter if you're a tribal medicine person. If you're a shaman, you're doing this behind the backs of people. And some of the tribes have already embraced this nonsense. And this is one of the reasons they allowed, that our Heavenly Father allowed the garbage to take place by the devil. The devil's the one that did all the garbage to the indigenous tribes. And the only way we can get our inheritance back is through Messiah Yahusha and return to Yahuwah and his ways, his commandments, his laws. It doesn't matter what continent you're on. If you're Aboriginal in Africa or in Australia, if you're indigenous to the Americas, if you're indigenous to Asia or Europe, it really doesn't matter. If your tribes were practicing this garbage in one way or another, pedophilia or bestiality or whatever, if you're using it in your rituals, that's why the damn Masons and the Jesuits, the Druids and the New World Order were able to take the land from you. This is an abomination to the one who created things. And a republic, a democratic republic, a democracy, it's all the same. It just solidifies that sin into the governmental form, openly. Plato was a man-boy lover. And he was a pansexual pervert because he was part of the occult. Satan denies up and down that he ever does this stuff, but he can't help himself because he's cut off from the Creator by what he did to mankind at the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He cut himself off of the tree. And then he deceives men to cut themselves off from the tree. All of his followers at one point were in the tree of life, but they cut themselves off of it by desiring to own things that the Creator owns instead of just being satisfied, being a steward and a servant of the Creator and His creation. Oh no, He made us a slave. He made us a slave. He's the Creator, you dumb... I'm not even going to say the word. It's just foolishness. The creation telling the Creator, I could have done a better job. You're really just that stupid. And that's all this World Health Organization is doing is amplifying. They're just amplifying what the Democratic Republic of the United States of America, now it's just a democracy, now just about to become a sustained fire until the day of final judgment. A wasteland. Not all of the places will be wasteland, but the United States cities of governance, the ones doing the main garbage and promoting this garbage. Patriotism's not going to is not going to free you from anything. Man-made government is the problem, because it's really not man making the government. They're just parroting what their principalities and powers and rulers of darkness are telling them to do. They call themselves aliens from another planet. They're called extraterrestrials for a reason. They're interdimensional beings. They're fallen angels. And they're Nephilim offspring. The reason they want to sexualize all of mankind from the eldest to the youngest is because it gives them the most sustained power and control over mankind. When the fear of death is removed, they have to use something else. When the fear of mere pain is not enough, they have to turn to something else. And sexualization of a culture is the most effective control these principalities and powers have over mankind. And people are dumb enough to follow them and to turn away from the commandments given to us by the Creator, because He's the one that created it. He knows how it operates. He's given us a complete operator's manual, not just an owner's manual. He's the owner. And if you have a working relationship with Him, He shows you new things about His creation every day so that you are able to operate according to His protocol. You can't change the code and expect it to do good to you. Creation has an operating system, and the operating system is directly related to our Heavenly Father, the one who created us. His voice, His voice and His word, His character. His character is what is the operating system. And it's a living operating system because He is the life of His creation. And these wicked perverts have been setting up to do this all along with the Constitution. They've made treaties with these fallen principalities and powers and rulers of darkness. The Constitution was bad enough, but then treaty law took over. The Constitution is no more, really. Now they owe debts to fallen spiritual beings, which they really only owe by making an oath that means nothing. Because those fallen principalities and powers change their agreements left and right, worse than the United States government. The United States was an experiment from the beginning of its inception to see if a one-world government would work again, like it did before the flood of Noah, deceiving people into believing they're free when they're just free-range slaves to sodomite, pervert, fallen angels and Nephilim spirits and demons. Our Heavenly Father is the only escape through Messiah Yahusha. Why do you run away from Him? You're running to the people and the entities that are actually doing you the harm because, the Creator's allowing it. What kind of nonsense is that? Run to the Creator. You might actually find out those wicked creatures will leave you alone after a while.